Welcome from the Notorious DID. I am a new alter you'll be meeting today. My name is Divinity. This video is going to be for only those who are open-minded. So if you are negative in energy and not open-minded, please, I welcome you to leave. This is a safe environment, a positive environment, where enlightenment and thought is welcome. Negativity has no space here or room. I am going to be bringing you today my thoughts on DID. This is something that obviously impacts our world. Now, when I say our world, I don't necessarily speak of the body, because the body is only a host for your spirit, your soul. In general terms, standardly, that would include one spirit or soul. After reviewing a recent video of another party who has DID, it makes perfect and complete sense that what we actually are is a spirit catcher. What do I mean when I say that we are a spirit catcher? I would be interested to see how many of those who have DID have actually also had a component of being linked to the spiritual world in one way or another. In our particular case, as far back as you can go in the memory banks, the body has always been linked to the spiritual world. Rather, you want to say that it's based because you have the ability to speak to spirits, to the dead, also the ability to hear them, the ability to see them. So a direct link to the spiritual realm. No matter which altar or spirit you're talking about, the body itself has that ability. Rather, the individual soul, spirit, altar, they're all just names, accesses it or can access it, makes really no difference. In this body's case, it was always linked to the other realms. Being born on All Hallows Eve is an automatic link that you may or may not use or access. And for those of you who do not know, that would be Halloween. The spiritual realm is what we are all made of. We all consist of the energy that creates the universe. That is all we are, components of energy. This energy can be tapped, can be accessed. Our minds are controlled by the energy that our spirit is. So bear with me. and hang in there with what my theory is. Keep in mind, everything to do with the mind, period, is a theory. There is no way to definitively prove what others believe. It's all a belief system. What do I believe? Well, my background, of course, having been a medium, having been linked to the spiritual world prior in a different host or body, however you wish to look at it, I have a full understanding of the spiritual world. It is totally conceivable that whoever the spirit was that was initially in this body, upon having these abilities and not knowing how to deal with the traumas that were taking place within their life, that they opened a spiritual portal, if you will, making the body itself a spirit catcher. If you're a medium, you have medium capacities, you will fully understand this, and you will understand more of what I am saying. New Age is limitless. The universe itself is limitless. This is because the universe is energy. So for those whom are not sure what mediums are or can do, a lot of us may be more familiar because of entertainment and movies, television shows, things of this nature. But the facts are around the same. You primarily have the ability to communicate with the other realms. You can also facilitate, or in other words, your body can be used as a portal for spirits to communicate, to say what they want to say or need to say to others through your body. Now, we know this is a fact, other than those of you who are skeptical. And please, again, if you're skeptical and not open-minded and not interested in possibilities, then this is not the space for you. Clarifying. In other words, being a medium, you are already a spiritual portal. Can everybody control that in the first place? Absolutely not. No. Everybody cannot control that in the first place. This is why it is very stressful to be a medium. It is very heavy on your spirit, your soul, your body, for you to function, and it takes time, like everything else. Time and practice to learn blocking, to learn limiting, to learn all of these things that protect you and your body from infiltration, rather be infiltration you do not want to allow, or permanent infiltration, which some would call a form of possession. This too would explain why, not only because of fears that people usually house against anything that's different, but it would also facilitate the initial understanding of DID being directly linked with possession. As a medium, you are already, a opportunity for spiritual use. Now, take it into perspective. A young child that has this ability. You don't necessarily know you have this ability. You definitely, I'm quite sure, do not understand this ability because you don't have that capacity at that point to understand it. You would never be able to fully control, if you could control it at all. And if we're talking about a young child, because you are born with these abilities, if you're talking about a completely young child, because they like to use the standard of 7 or 8 years old or below. Now, keep that in perspective. A child who is 7 to 8 years old or below that has this ability to be a spiritual portal would not be able to control it. There are most adults that cannot control it, and to some degree, you never are fully able to control it. There are too many factors within the universes that you can completely control anything. And please remember that too. No matter how much you think you can control everything, you can never control everything. Never. It does not matter how much skill, how much knowledge you have. You will never be able, you can master it to the abilities, and you can master it to hold on to yourself. But you will never fully be able to control it because you do not know what other direct contacts you may have and what abilities that spirit may have. So, to a complete degree, complete control is a dream. It does not exist. Nobody has complete control over anything because there are too many components and facets of other interactions. You cannot. You can be responsible for yourself. You can have your own knowledge, but you can never, ever predict every single facet of the interaction of others. This is where your ability to completely control anything is non-existent. So reverting backward, a child of 7 to 8 years old or under has the ability. In the future, they can maybe be able to facilitate, learn, and grow as a medium. But irregardless, they are still, they are still not able to know or understand what ability they have of being a spiritual portal. Take the reality. Reality is, in general, the realm that you are dealing with. Not the outside realms, not the spiritual realms, the mythological realms, none of those take place in that. Reality is primarily the realm that you are dealing with, specifically to the body that you are in. When this reality is crushed by extreme traumas that the child cannot understand, that the child cannot handle, it makes perfect sense to me that this portal could be triggered. When this portal is triggered, you could become a soul catcher unknowingly, and you obviously would not be able to control that. Thus, here's D.I.D. So, there would be multiple souls who have the ability of accessing this host, this body. And if you did not know, this is in general, if you did not know in the first place that you created this portal, well, most likely it was already there within yourself, the ability. But you would not know that you were literally sucking souls into your host or your body, creating dissociative identity disorder, which people say is alters, or people say are different facets of your mind, when in reality, it is totally possible for each and every individual to be a different soul, a different spirit. Those souls and spirits, there's an infinite possibility of where they came from, who they are, what they are. Infinite. So you have become a spirit catcher. Rather, you are still there or not. I'm only saying this because our origin, I do believe our origin is still here. But our origin, due to possibly the age that all of this took place, may not, still to this day, be of the mental capacity to even fathom, understand, or have the ability to come forward. You're talking about a very, very young child that this took place with. So, although the other souls and spirits can be of multiple ages, infinite ages, they can be of multiple races, multiple cultures. They can be of anything. Why? Because the spirit and soul remains the same, no matter what host or body it goes into. If you're channeling a spirit, you can channel a spirit from any culture, from any race, from anything. You can channel that spirit. So in other words, that body can channel or gravitate, gain, and access souls from, you tell me, anywhere, right? Anywhere. Time is assumingly relative. So adjusting and based on the spirit's thoughts and the spirit's understandings, the energy that we are, we can go through years and years and years and years and years and still not understand what took place, or that we died, or where we are, or what is next, and that infinite possibility of where we go when we leave this body or the host that we're in at the time. So what I am saying is, They could be from any times as well. Because it's acceptance and understanding that guides us through the afterworld or through the beginning world, however you want to look at it. Because really, it is all one. It is all a huge circle of enlightenment and understanding. It is all a circle that we travel. Do we travel it infinitely? I believe so. Absolutely, I believe that we do. So, each altar, I don't even really like to use that word because I don't believe that it's even altars. Altars is, just use the word altar. That's an alternative of one piece. Of one piece, right? An alternative. It's like a puzzle. It's still one piece, but you're putting the pieces together. It's from one piece. I do not believe dissociative identity disorder is that. I believe we are all individual pieces, individual souls. We are all different spirits that have been in some way, shape, or some process gathered into what this body now is, a spirit catcher. Now, for those of you who have D.I.D, think hard, because you may not know that you ever had that ability, or none of the other souls may not know that you ever had that ability, or that the body ever had that ability, I should say. Because the body, no matter what soul or spirit is in it, the body is what has that ability at that time. Without that ability, obviously, the souls can't be gathered. If you don't know that that is what took place, you definitely don't know how to change that. And is there a definite way to change that? That is a completely different situation. Because everything to do with the spirit and the soul is a learning experience and is intricate. So we're all housed here within this body. We're all housed within the mind because we are all energy. So we are all housed within the mind somewhere. And to release the spirits or to release the souls that the body has gathered as a spirit catcher, it's a new theory to myself. That doesn't mean necessarily that other cultures or other persons have not heard of it or thought of it or know about it. I am merely speaking as my own spirit, my own individual. It is completely new to me. Did I know how a medium works? Absolutely I did, because I was one. Did I know that there was the possibility of something like this taking place? Possibilities are infinite. I do not close my mind to any possibilities, because anything is possible. The mind is a delicate, delicate thing. When you are involved in trauma, no matter if you say, oh yeah, it's fine, I can get past that. You can absolutely get past that, but it will affect you in some way, shape, or form, no matter what you do. No matter how you try, it will. And if a small child cannot process that, which obviously they would not be able to, then possibly they would push a button that they did not know they pushed and start to gather souls, start to gather spirits. If you're not alone, which in that case, I think that would probably be the most positive scenario of any kind of trauma or any kind of problem. If you're not alone and you have other souls and spirits that are, as I said, infinite as far as ages and understandings, you're in a better position, definitely. But you probably don't even understand or know what just happened. You didn't push that button deliberately, and the souls and spirits that are now housed within the body obviously would not necessarily have that understanding either. When we go from one, so in the understanding of reincarnation, when you go from one body to another, there is an in-between. The in-between and the entering into a new body leaves a form of amnesia. Who am I? What is this? Where am I? And it always will. No matter your age, if you maintained your true consciousness from the past body to this body, which obviously within D.I.D you can do, you will still have the amnesia. The full understanding would be from the higher powers, not me. It could be the shock, it could be the stress of entering a body that creates that. Some of us, you may not remember your name, who exactly you were. You, on a daily basis, as you rotate out even through this system, you will have lapses in memory, lapses in understanding, because every single time you come to the front of this body, you could displace. Your spirit could displace, as if every single time that you come to the front, you are re-entering the body, forming this amnesia, forming this issue. Is that really far out there? I don't think so. As I said, though, I believe anything is infinitely possible, but I don't think that's very far out there. And if you look at all aspects of what dissociative identity disorder is supposed to be, I don't believe it's a disorder. I believe it is a completely different situation. It's not a disorder. It is not a mental problem. It is literally a cult facility. You have facilitated different souls. It is supernatural, not a mental disorder. However, because most people cannot understand and are not comfortable with understanding the New Age concepts, of course, it would be perceived as a mental issue. Because that's what most not understanding most things is. You are always who you are meant to be, no matter what abilities you have or don't have. That does not change from one realm to another, but re-entering from one realm to another into the body can create the dissociation. Think about it, because reincarnation, you are re-entering. It doesn't matter if you are re-entering into a baby that is just born, or if you are re-entering into a body that has been there. You will always have that dissociation. How long does it take for a baby to regain and re-understand? You literally have to go from point A to point B. This is less than that, because you at least maintain and hold on to some of your past knowledge and understanding. As a baby, it's like you're starting from point A. And I think that's possibly because of the brain within a baby. You have to regrow all that knowledge and understanding. Here you don't have to. You are entering a body where the mind is already there. It is already available. Now, I don't know who the first spirits were that entered this body. When that button was pushed, I don't know. I do know that this is infinitely possible to fully explain, and I do believe that this is the truth and the fact of what has happened. I welcome you to think. I welcome you to form your own opinion. But I also welcome you to think hard about what I've said. Because that explains everything to do with this. You now know a little bit about me, about who I am as a spirit. My likes and dislikes at this point right here are not important, because this is the most important part of what is taking place. The Notorious DID system, I believe, is a soul or a spirit catching system. Thank you for listening to me. I am Divinity. I am one spirit that represents this body. Please hit the notification bell so that you can listen to the other alters, the other souls, the other spirits' thoughts on what's taking place, their reality, each individual reality for each spirit is what this channel is about. And each individual spirit being able to learn more and understand more about the other spirits that are housed in the same body. We welcome you to be the first to know about it by hitting the notification bell. Subscribe so that you can regularly see, hear, and maybe understand what is happening and what is taking place. Like, share, comment, Comment welcomely. As I said, this is not a negative space, however. So do not bring your negativity into this space because it is not welcome. Those who are positive, those who are open-minded, you're welcome at all times. It is massive to me with the amount of people that have subscribed. And we do hope that that grows because understanding is knowledge, is the world, is the universe. Infinitely trying to understand is what every spirit does. You have an infinitely blessed day with all the good spirits, no matter what religion you may be, to surround you and your family and bring good. I say adieu.